Oh, first of all, can we give a massive round of applause, jump up and down for Mr. Sean Azimi, who always shows up every single Saturday, rain or shine, and is running this call for us. So huge, huge thank you to you, Sean Azimi. We don't know what we would do without you. You weren't even on yet, and we were, yelling your praises from the mountaintops. I said, this tech stuff, man, I'm good at other things, okay? All right, guys. Well, happy Saturday to you guys. Happy August, okay? How are we already 10 days into August? This is just insane. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like 2024 is flying by, right before my eyes. And guess what? It's getting better and better month by month. And there are so many exciting things coming down the pipeline that I don't want a single person on the planet to miss. Okay? For those of you I haven't met, my name is Michelle Barnes. I am an Elite 3 out here in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Just to give you a quick little Cliff Notes version of who the heck you're listening to. You're like, who is this spastic soul talking to me on a Saturday morning way too fast? If you think I talk too fast, I think you listen too slow. So there we have it. So listen fast. I hope you've had your Logic coffee like I have. Maybe I shouldn't have had so much Logic coffee this morning and burn and all the things, but I love it. If you want some energy and you want to burn fat at the same time, that is the way to do it, y'all. And then the collagen just tightens everything up. I mean, you'll be literally aging backwards. Stop it some more. Okay, so I am so excited to be here today because this global team call has been happening now for about 28 years, okay? It was a Monday night team call for a long, many, many years. Then we switched it to a Saturday morning team call. And guess what? We show up every single Saturday unless we are at an event or hosting an actual Modere event. We are here. So same bad team, same bad channel. We are always here, rain or shine as well. And we have the most amazing leaders in this team that are typically hosting this fabulous call. And so every once in a while, I get to pop on and make an appearance and have some fun with you guys. So I'm so excited to be here. We have got so many exciting things happening, guys. And I will tell you, this month is my 29-year anniversary in the network marketing profession. That's so weird since I'm only in my 30s. Okay? But I feel like I am in my 30s, and that's what matters. If you feel good and you look good, you do good, all the things, and that's what these products do for people. So I'm excited for those of you that are just kind of taking a look at this. Maybe you're just sitting here being a fly on the wall, and you're like, who the heck, what is this? But maybe you're also, obviously, you're like, I'm kind of keeping my options open. I'm kind of looking, to bring in another stream of income to just, lighten the load a little bit. How many of you would love an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, or how many of you'd love to get out of a job that you freaking hate, okay? That was me 29 years ago, guys. I had no business being in business. I was $80,000 in debt. I had just basically dropped out of law school going into my second year because I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to do this the rest of my life. And I was waiting tables and bartending. I was interning for a couple of miserable attorneys. I was a personal trainer at the time, so I've always had a passion for health and fitness and wellness and beauty. So that part made sense to me. But I was skeptical as all get out, guys. I almost walked out of my first meeting 29 years ago. The end of this month will be 29 years. Crazy. I got started on a part-time basis because it's not about the time you put into this. It's what you do with the time that you put into this. So even though I had 3 jobs, I was able to squeeze in a little time here and there to build another stream of income. Once that income surpassed some of my pathetic part-time jobs, I was able to eventually go full-time. And you guys, I fell in love with this business. I fell in love with helping people's health, helping people's financial situation, and more than anything, I fell in love with helping people learn how to think differently, okay? Do you realize 97% of America retires financially dependent on somebody else after working the freaking 40-plus year plan, 40-plus hours a week, 40-plus years? I mean, and what are they doing it for? People go out and do the 40-year plan because they want time freedom and money freedom, and guess what? They retire with neither. I mean, how effed up is that? Excuse the French, right? I didn't say the word, but let's be real, right? I mean, how much sense does that make to work 40-plus hours a week, 40-plus years, and to retire without the time freedom or money freedom that you were hoping to get out of that 40-year plan? So we're just here, guys. Like, if we can help make your life a little easier, if we can make your life a little more fun, if we can help you surround yourself with freaking awesome people that are fun like us, because we are fun, let me just tell you, okay? I always say, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. I just got back from Sarasota, Florida. late Sunday night, I was with the amazing Nadia Melton, John Melton's better half, and Tanya Eliza, two of the most phenomenal women on the planet. And, you know, it was just a good reminder of you become who you hang around. So who are you hanging out with right now? Who are the 5 people that you're spending the majority of your time with? Because if you're spending your time with 5 broke people, you're absolutely going to be the 6th. If you're hanging out with 5 stupid people, you're going to be the 6th. If you're hanging out with, 5, totally fit, ripped, in shape, happy, healthy people, you're probably going to be the 6th. And so if you're hanging out with 5 millionaires, you're probably going to be the 6th. But if you're hanging out with hundredaires, you're probably going to be the 6th. So all I'm saying, this is not rocket science, y'all, okay? Like what we've got here, there are people making a little, there's people making a lot, and guess what? You get to choose, okay? One thing that I fell in love with when I started this business is I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I can be my own boss, I can set my own hours? And guys, I wasn't afraid of hard work. I was already working hard, working 3 jobs. You're going to work hard no matter what you freaking do. So why not work hard building something for yourself that's going to create true passive residual income versus working for someone else and building someone else's business and someone else's dream, okay? So, and if you can get healthy, if you can lose weight and have more energy and feel good, look good, do good, all the things at the same time, it's a win-win-win, right? Okay, so I'll tell you, I accidentally made $102,000 my first year. I didn't even know how the comp plan worked. That's what, I always say, everything is energy and energy is everything, and energy is caught, not taught, okay? So some of you got to raise your little vibration, okay? And if you think you're bringing it, maybe bring it a little more. You don't have to be psycho crazy, like me or John Melton. But, man, you got to kind of, up that energy because your vibration, your frequency is what you're attracting. Whatever you're feeling is what you're attracting. If you don't like your results, change the way you feel. It's so simple. Easy to do, easy not to do, right? I love what Jim Rohn says. Easy to do, easy not to do, okay? So anyway, long story short, guys, made my first million before the age of 30. Have been blessed to make millions in this awesome profession. Has it been easy? No. This is my 5th company, guys, in 29 years and final, praise God. And I will tell you guys, you know what? We're just getting warmed up, okay? I will be honest with you. I'm never going to BS you. If those of you that know me, you know that, things come out of my mouth that probably shouldn't, I'm very straight up, no BS. Okay, no icing on the cake. So, look, our world is freaking crazy right now. Our country's a little crazy right now. The network marketing space is a little crazy right now. Our company's even been a little crazy for the last 6 months or so. But guess what? Everything happens for a reason and a purpose. And honestly, guys, I've never been more excited in 29 years. That's nuts, okay? Because what we have coming down the pipeline is going to rock your freaking world. How many heard about that little old thing flying around, those little old shots flying around called Ozempic or semaglutide or I don't know, there's all these crazy names that I can't pronounce out there. And you know what? I am so glad that it's working for some people because sometimes people just need that little extra oomph. But what if you guys, what if we were coming out with a product in about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, in about 5 weeks? What if we were coming out with a healthy, natural kind of Ozempic-type product that could help people get the exact same results without all the crazy freaking side effects? How many of you think that that might be the biggest product launch we've ever had in Modere history? And we've had some big ones, guys. I mean, our lean body system, holy moly, get in our groups. If you haven't been in the groups, just to be a fly on the wall and see people's results on our 5-day drop. Oh, my gosh, the collagen, hello. I mean, you guys, I lost 32 pounds. I've been able to keep it off now for 5 years. I feel, and I will say, look better at 52 than I did at 32. And you know what? My goal is to get in the best shape of my entire life because we got Cabo coming up in 90 days, y'all. I don't know if you guys that have all, and congrats. Congrats to all of you who qualified for an all-expense-paid trip to Cabo at the end of October. I cannot wait to see you guys. So how many are with me and want to get in the best shape of your life in the next 90 days? I think we've got just the product coming down the pipeline to help out with that. So pretty freaking awesome, you guys. So I don't want to take a ton of time here, guys, but I'm sitting here in Colorado. It's a beautiful day. I love that you're here on a Saturday with me. I don't take it lightly that you chose to give this, hour of your life on a Saturday to me and to these amazing humans who have also given their time, which I'm so grateful for. I got these 2 teenage boys that are, here in this house ready to get out and go do some stuff and have some fun. I'm a single mama, sole provider of 2 awesome teenagers. Man, who would have known teenagers would be so dang fun? My oldest came in and talked to me till about 1 a.m. last night. So I was like, dude, I got to do a call in the morning. But you never want to give up those moments, do you? All right, guys. So here we go. I want to tell you really quick about a mid-month promo that is happening on August 15th, starting at 7 a.m., and it's only for a couple days, okay, till the 17th at midnight. When you buy any kind of chocolate trim, lean body system, 5-day drop with the chocolate trim, dude, tastes like freaking pudding, okay? Like, the stuff is amazing. Whenever you buy any kind of chocolate trim or chocolate trim collection, you are going to get a free chocolate prebiotic, okay? If you don't know what a prebiotic is, I know that, prebiotics are all the craze and probiotics, blah, blah, blah. But you need a pre, you need a pro, and you need a post, okay, to really get your gut health right. And when you get your gut health right, you will see magical things happen in your life. This is an $85 value, guys. So when you buy the Lean Body System or the 5-day drop, you're going to get a free box of our chocolate prebiotic along with that. That's an $85 value. If you're in Canada, you're going to get a free body firming foam. It's our collagen firming foam, which is freaking amazing. So super duper cool. Okay, guys, mark your calendar, September 21st. That is when we are launching this new product, guys. So wherever you are on the planet, you got to come see us in Vegas, okay? I'm going to be there with Miss Margiela Prandy that you just heard from, Brandy Sonoto, Michelle Churchill, Ashley Dawes. I mean, come on, you guys. These are the best of the best in this organization right now. I mean, seriously. Orlando, and the Meltons are going to be there. The Meltons are they're showing up in Orlando, and then they're showing up in Vegas. I mean, they're just going to be rock stars that weekend. And so super excited. So get to Vegas, get to Orlando, get to Calgary or Toronto, okay, if you're in Canada, September 20th and 21st. Get the details, buzz.shiftingretail.com. If you're not registered for one of those events, what are you waiting for, okay? If you want to be successful in this business, then that's a non-negotiable. We only have 2 big events a year that are company-sponsored like this, only 2, besides our all-expense-paid trip to Cabo, which, hello, you better be on the next one with us, okay? And we'll help you do that, okay? So Vegas, Orlando, Calgary, Toronto, you got to get to this event, guys. This will put you 6 to 9 months ahead in the business. You're going to be in the know for this new product line that's launching, and it is going to be so exciting. We've got an Escape Lifestyle Point promo going on, double the rewards. We've got a double team builder bonus, guys. That means if you were a Director 1 in June, and you hit Director, just qualifying Director 1, doesn't have to be your highest rank, but if you were a Director 1 in June and you hit Director 2 in August, you're going to get 30,000 lifestyle points, but you're also going to double your team builder bonus. Pretty badass, I must say, okay? So let's get to it, guys. The first person I want you to hear from, I love this business, okay? So after 20, like I said, I'll just say 28 years because I really haven't hit my 29-year mark quite yet, and it just makes me sound old, so I'm going to find a way to stop saying that. I'll just maybe say a couple decades or something. But anyway, if I am still in phase 1, recruiting and selling every single day, every single person should. John Melton probably enrolls more people than probably 95, 98% of our entire organization globally, probably more than the entire company globally, okay? And obviously he doesn't need to work anymore, okay? But you see him, he shows up every single day in, day out, shows up because he's a consistent, visible leader. So if you want what they got, do what they do. And maybe some of you are like, I don't want to show up like John Melton every single day. But maybe you want to make $10,000 a month instead of over $100,000 a month. I don't know. Whatever your goals are, whether you want to make a little or a lot, we can teach you how to do that. Okay? So I will tell you, I probably enrolled like 5 people in the last 5 weeks. And one of them is the gentleman you're going to hear from right now. His name is Carlos Perez. He's right here in Colorado. I spoke at an event called ANMP, Association of Network Marketing Professionals, in June. And when I was coming back, he was blessed to be my Uber driver. Or maybe I was blessed to have him as my Uber driver. I really was. We had such an amazing conversation. I'll let him share kind of his perspective of the story. But I got in the car, we got to chatting, and I loved his energy. I loved his vibe. I mean, the kid's 27 years old. He's entrepreneurial. He's business-minded. He wants freedom. He wants financial freedom. He's got a strong work ethic, but he had done some stuff in the past that just wasn't working. And so he's here right now. I'm going to let him, I don't want to steal his whole story because he's got an incredible story already on the products. He's already crushing it in the business. He's already gotten his first customer with over a $300 order, which is freaking amazing. But I can't wait for you guys to hear from this guy. I'm so proud of what he's doing. So, Carlos, are you out there?
Hey, Michelle.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, yeah.
I'm like, don't leave me hanging, brother. Don't leave me hanging. Hey, you don't have to match my energy. That's tough.
But Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, anyways, guys. So yeah, like Michelle was saying, so we met, and yeah, we just hit it off for 45 minutes. We were going back and forth about how I wanted to gain financial freedom from this, and I think I just loved the for me mostly was the business model of it. Like you could just get to do this from home. How amazing is that? So for me, it was just that because previously, a little bit about myself. I started my entrepreneurial journey about 4 years ago, post-COVID. I started 3 businesses, all traditional, got into a bunch of debt, and then I was like, you know what, this is not working out for me. So just a simple fact that just to start up with $300 to $500 for me was just like, oh my gosh, you know what, this is a great opportunity. So for me, it was that, the business model, and the community. Like, the community is just so lovely. Like, the people, Michelle, the energy to bring, just everything about it. Like, you just feel so welcoming. It's just a very, like, family-oriented type, group. And for me, it was just mainly that, honestly. And yeah, it's just, honest, like, sorry, guys. So, yeah, it's just, I'm a little excited right now. But anyways, guys, yeah, it's, after it's been, so I started Michelle, like 2 months ago. So yeah, it's
yeah, maybe almost.
It's been like 2 months, right? So anyways, Michelle, is there any other questions you want to add to that? Because I just kind of gave a little brief.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome, Carlos. So you're 27. So you tried some entrepreneurial ventures for the last 4 years. So you started when you were 23, just like I did. And so what other entrepreneurial things were you trying, and have you tried in the past?
So yeah, so in the past I've already I tried real estate. I have my car rental business. I had opened up my cosmetic shop down in Mexico. But like I said, they were all just traditional businesses, and it's just a bunch of overhead with the traditional things, like just like you got to get employees. It's just, for me, it just really wasn't working out, honestly. So at that point, when you told me about this business, you know what, I was like, oh, you know what, this just kind of makes sense to me, honestly. So yeah, for anyone that's looking to join, honestly, like, guys, like, this is, it's only going to cost you like $300 to join, 400, like, it's a very small investment. You're not going to find this anywhere. Like, for anyone that's trying to invest, like, or, start up a business, like, it's going to be very hard to find an opportunity like this, honestly. So, yeah, I'll probably, honestly, like, if you're doubtful about anything, like, just, you have these amazing people that can just answer all your questions. So, yeah, just, feel free to reach out, guys. Like, there's really no, what is there to lose, really? You're not paying up, you're not essentially, giving up a bunch of money, to start up. So, honestly, for me, I think that was, like, the main thing. But yeah, I've been, these last two months, it's been like, it's been up and down because, like, this is all new to me, but it's been great, honestly. Like, even if you guys don't have the confidence, like, that confidence, you guys are gonna feel it for sure. Like, even just being around with these people, like, you're gonna feel it for sure. But yeah, other than that, really, I'm fairly new to the business, kind of still learning. But other than that, I don't know, Michelle, is there any other things we might want to add to?
So yeah, Carlos, share with them. I know that you're crushing the 5-day drop and the lean body system. How much weight have you lost now? I know you're just looking to really get leaner and stronger, and so where are you at with that?
Yeah, so I've lost within the last few weeks. I've already lost like 5 to I think it was like 5 pounds. So yeah, I've been getting amazing results. The energy I've been getting from the products. The collagen is amazing. Like, my skin, you can just tell how glowy it is. Like, yeah, these products are legit, because even prior to all this, like, I've always just been so hesitant about little things like this, like if the products were even gonna work and all that. But once I started using them, like, I started getting immediate results. Like, even me being a super hesitant guy. So, yeah, it's been great, honestly, guys. So for whoever's, want to join, like, yeah, guys, this is a great opportunity, honestly. Like, and there's just really not much to lose at the end of the day, really. So, yeah, guys, like, get in touch with with these amazing people, and you guys, guys are hesitant, have any concerns, like, yeah, just feel free to reach out. So,
I love it. And Carlos,
yeah.
where are you from originally, Carlos?
So yeah, guys. So a little bit about myself, my background. So I am from Mexico, but luckily I was born here. I did live a good portion of my life out there. Decided to come back as soon as I turned 18. I'm 28 now, so it's been 10 years now. So yeah, these past 10 years have been, been a journey, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. So especially right now that I'm in this such amazing community with, such amazing people. So yeah, guys, it's
well, Carlos,
join in and
my friend.
Feel free to reach out.
I got to tell you, my friend, I'm very proud. I'm just super proud of you. I know that you kind of deal with a little bit of anxiety and things like that, and just putting one foot in front of the other, my friend, and having a long-term vision. I think that was one of the things that, at 23 that I had going for me. I had a short-term sense of urgency when it came to doing the income-producing activities that were going to move my business forward. But I also had a very long-term mentality at the same time. And the way I looked at it, I was like, shoot, what if it took me 5 years to make $5,000 a month passive residual income? Would it be worth it? And the answer is yes. Whether it's on the side or whether it's, you're getting out of a job or you're home with your kids, if you can make guys, do you realize less than 5% of our American population makes over $5,000 a month right now, working 40 plus hours a week? So what if it took you 5 years to make $5,000 a month passive residual income, over $60,000 a year being added to your family's life, whether it be on the side, or part-time, full-time, whatever, up to you. But the way I looked at it was, even if it takes me 5 years to make $5,000 a month, which it did not, because I made $102,000 my first year, which also is not, does not happen a lot. But also most people, you determine that. We have people here that have made 6 figures in their first year, but they hustle. I would never tell you that this thing's going to build itself. Okay. Sign up today, become a millionaire tomorrow. When you find one of those, call a sister. Okay. Because I have not found one of those. But I will say, if you're hungry and you're coachable and you're willing, then sky is the limit. And, my 3 golden rules are get excited, pay attention, never quit. Quitting can't be an option. It just can't. If you're going to quit, then just don't start, because it's the stupidest thing in the world. You're never going to be successful at anything that you quit. So, Carlos, I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you're putting one foot in front of the other. I'm proud of you that you're getting out of your comfort zone, that you're talking to people. You've been putting me in 3-way chats. You already got your first customer who's a really sharp guy that I really have a gut feeling may turn into your first social marketer, who is also from India. And so we're in India, and he's entrepreneurial, he's business-minded, so you just never know, my friend. But, I'm just proud of what you're doing. So thanks for being on the call, my friend.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. So our next speaker, I'm so excited for you to hear from this woman. She is just a rock star, and she's been through a lot in the last few years, guys. And I will tell you guys, the last couple of years it's been hard, kind of a hard run for a lot of you, a lot of us, a lot of people out there, and so I understand that sometimes it's, when things are all over the place and things are happening in your personal life, it's hard to put your head down and go to work. It's hard to do the things when you really don't feel like doing it. But I'll tell you, that's where the magic is. And this is one woman that is showing up like no other right now. And she is out in Minnesota. She is a Platinum 3 Elite 1. Okay, let me just tell you what that means, okay? P3 is over 9,000 in personal sales in her customer pod, which means she makes 36% of that. Do the math. That's without recruiting, without building a team. That's about $3,000 a month without recruiting or team building. Elite 1 that means she's crushing it on both sides of the comp plan. That means her team is doing over $100,000 in sales on a monthly basis. How freaking awesome is that? So, it's like 2 engines on the plane. We have a dual-sided comp plan, which is literally, guys, there's not a company on the entire planet that has what we have. If there was, we'd be there, okay? John and I would be there. If there was a better company, Margie would be there. That's why we're here, okay? And am I saying it's always perfect? No, nothing's perfect, okay? So let me just tell you, with this dual-sided comp plan, I love the fact that the average person can come in and get above average results without even recruiting or building a team. That is badass, okay? So, Sonja, you're amazing, sister. I can't wait for these guys to hear your story. Are you out there?
I'm here. Thank you so much for all those kind words, Michelle. I'm super pumped to be here. I've been a host a bunch of times in the last year and a half, but this is the first time I've been on as a participant in probably like 2 years. So I'm super pumped to be here.
Well, that is ridiculous. We are so happy to have you here. And you always, the reason why we always make you a hostess is because you're like the hostess with the mostest and you crush it. So now you get to be on the other side and I get to interview you. So let's start, girl, with the Cliff Notes version of your story, you know, what you used to do, what you do, how you got here, what you're excited about.
Absolutely. So I am from the very interesting state of Minnesota. I'm not from here. I didn't grow up here, but that's where I live. Actually, Michelle, I lived in Highlands Ranch, Colorado for a number of years, and I say it is my forever home. Yeah, I still have a Denver phone number, so it's my forever home. So I have my lifeline back to Colorado. But I live here with the love of my life, Wes, and our fur baby, Ruby, and have a background in nutrition. So first and foremost, I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and certified diabetes educator. As I say, that's what I paid the big bucks to go to school for. And all that really means in this profession is I'm the ultimate skeptic when it comes to products. Anybody that's ever partnered with me knows that there is a laundry list of things that have to get checked before I even entertain looking at the rest of the company. So I found the great profession of network marketing after going from job to job to job, looking for this perfect scenario that I came to find really didn't exist. And so I found network marketing 16 years ago, and it's, as I say, the business found me. I went looking for the products. I was looking for some products that, like most people, would help me achieve my goals, and partnered with my first company for the product discount. And I ended up staying there 9 years because shortly into that journey, I realized that people were making money sharing the products that were changing my health. And as a dietitian, it was like, how can I not give back to people the things that are changing my life? And a lot of people would come to me as a resource and say, what is it that you're doing? I want to do that too. So I was very much ignorance on fire. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is I could share a product and make money. And so I was with my first company for 9 years, ended up being a top earner there. Didn't think I would ever leave, but about 8.5 years into my journey, some major things happened. As you heard me say, it's always about the products first. Well, they changed the formulation of the products. They changed some other things behind the scenes that I could not control. And so I was forced to make a really difficult decision of stay there and collect a paycheck. I was earning really good money, and it was hard to let go of that, but I knew my integrity needed to come first. And so with a very heavy heart, I made a decision to leave that company, and I got into some very uncharted territory for about 4 years. And I became a startup specialist. And it was a very, very rewarding, exciting, talk about an adrenaline rush for 4 years. But during that time, you were talking about being with 5 different companies. I've been with 7 in the last 16 years.
Wow.
The first one was for 9. So you can do the math from there. But I got into the startup space, and I launched multiple companies. And I will tell you, looking back, even though I made a lot of money, not one of those companies is standing today. And that includes my last company where I was the master distributor. So I got a really big sneak peek behind the curtain as to really what goes into making a successful run for everybody, or in this case, nobody, in network marketing, except for the top leaders, of course. And I learned really more in that company what I didn't want. And after that company shut down, I took a little look in the mirror and I said, Sonja, what are you doing with your life? Because, yes, it's been an exciting run, but I was tired of dragging my team through the mud and making them start over yet again. I have the attitude of give me the keys to the car in any company, I'll drive it. But my heart has always been for my team and for the person that just wants to come here and make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. And so with a very heavy heart, I stood I looked in the mirror and I said, you've got to make a decision as to whether you're going to continue to do this or you're going to go do something else with your life. Well, the other go do something else with my life involved getting a job, so wasn't really a fan of that. So I actually reached out to John Melton with a lot of emotion, and I said, this is what I've done. This is what I'm looking for. I want to know, like, am I crazy? Does this even exist? And he said to me, have you ever taken a look at Modere? And I kind of said, well, I've rolled my eyes a number of times at it, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And so he introduced me to Modere. It's been about 3.5 years now. I took a look at the videos, and I had to rewatch them because I said to myself, what do you mean people can share the product and make money? Dual-sided compensation.
Right.
And I didn't even think that existed. 16 years, well, it had been 13 at that time. And every company I'd been part of was always about recruiters, recruiting more recruiters, recruiting more recruiters. And while good recruiters are really good at recruiting, that's not the majority of people, at least when they're getting started. And so learning more about Modere and the comp plan, it was like, this is a no-brainer. Well, I should say this too, Michelle. I was actually a customer of somebody. I was a Share the Love customer, believe it or not, while I was still with my last company, and I fell in love with Liquid BioCell. Fell in love, like to the point where I would shower in the stuff if it was possible. And so when it was time to make a pivot, yeah, right? When it was time to make a pivot, I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, how could I not do this? How could I hold back these amazing products from people that I know and a compensation plan that I truly believe a beginner and a top leader can win in? And so I arrived here at Modere 3.5 years ago, and it has been a very turbulent ride, not to do with Modere, but because of my personal life. And so, you know, we're working on some things there, but I will tell you there is no better place to be than Modere because of all that it has to offer. The roots of a 30-plus-year-old company, I've kind of lost track of what that exact number is, but the momentum and the excitement of a startup. And that's why I landed here.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's crazy because, you know, I mean, there's so much noise in our space right now. And, Sonja, I love hearing your perspective on, you know, especially you said this is your 7th company. Is that what you said?
Number 7, magic number 7.
Oh, good. Well, that's my lucky number. I mean, you know, my birthday's March 7th, so, you know, so it's a really good number. But I love your perspective on that because, you know, there's so much noise in our space right now. And, you know, there's 3-4 new startups right now that are, you know, everybody's talking about. And man, I just am like, oh, God bless their souls, the people that are going, because 9 out of 10 fail. And like you were saying, a lot of those aren't even around anymore. And, you know, you can drop it like it's hot for a hot minute, but I would rather be somewhere. You're going to build or rebuild no matter where you go. And so for me, I'm just like, man, why not build with a 35-year-old multi-billion-dollar company? And we just brought on the most badass team ever. I mean, our COO was second in command at GNC, took them from bankruptcy to billions. I think we're in pretty damn good hands right now. So there's just some really exciting things happening. And so I would love, because, I mean, you're crushing it on both sides of the comp plan. So I would love, and I know, like, I don't know how much you want to share about kind of just things that have been happening in your life, because I really just want people to know that, like, no one's life is perfect, you guys. And, you know, what you see on social media, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, okay? And you never really know what someone's going through. And Sonja is one of those people that wears the biggest, beautiful smile on her face at all times, is just so inviting and welcoming and all the things. And, you know, but doesn't mean that, you know, you're not going to go through some tough stuff, personally, business-wise, whatever, you know. And so there's that. But you've also continued to just show up and crush your business. So I would love to share what you would like to share, but also I would love for you to really take the gloves off, especially with this mid-month promo that we have launching next week, and obviously the new product that's coming in 6 weeks. Like, what would you recommend people do?
Sure, absolutely. And, you know, as people that know me really well know I'm an open book. I'm very transparent on social media with the things that I'm going through, because I truly believe that your life disasters that, we all get stuck in our stuff, whatever that is, whether it's physical or emotional or both. But that pot of disasters, that book of disasters, at some point will become somebody else's survival guide. So even if you're going through the stuff, it's like I tell my team all the time, like, people need to see that side of you too. We don't need to see the highlight reel that your life is perfect. So I've been very open about some of the things that I've gone through, and I'm happy to share those things. And one of the things that I'm working on is really getting good about not crying through these things, because, boy, Michelle, have I cried a lake full of tears over the last 2.5 years.
Sure.
So back in February of 2022, I very suddenly lost my mom and was actually asked to come into the room with my father and my sister. We had to make a decision to turn off a ventilator. So it was a very emotional time. And, for those of you that still have both of your parents, love the crap out of them, because you just don't know when that day comes that they will no longer be here. My mom was my best friend. She was the first person I called when I got into the car, and the first person I called anytime I had a promotion in my business or I had a bad day. It didn't matter. She was my best friend. And so I lost her in February of 2022. So for about 4 months after that, 3 months I'd say, I completely almost checked out of my business. And in the sense of, I was still plugged in and I knew what was going on, but I took the pressure off myself of being 150% on social media all the time. I really focused on myself and my family. My dad, honestly, didn't even know how to pay bills. He had never done anything by himself in life, so he needed his daughters. I have a sister as well, and then my other half, to really help him put the pieces back together again. So that was where I spent those next few months. And fortunately, through that time, because, and this is the key point I want to make for everyone that's listening, your business is not built on what you're doing today. What you're doing today prepares you for the season that's next. So because I had done such a good job through the years building relationships, talking to people about the products and the business opportunity, I still had some really great people joining me even when I was at rock bottom. And so because of that, I realized that I needed to keep going, and they were my reason to keep going. And so very quickly after losing my mom, we hit a lead as a team. And it was a very up and down time. I was still very emotional over losing my mom, but my dad and I grew very close and bonded, and he was sitting across the table from me. I'll never forget this. I was at his house helping him. That's the beauty of this business. You can work it from anywhere. I was at his house in Wisconsin working, and we hit elite, and he was sitting right across the table from me when that last order went in. And it was the most emotional, beautiful moment ever. And we had, the opportunity to celebrate together. Yeah, it was really heartfelt. Well, fast forward some months, and my dad was diagnosed with cancer for the second time. And so that cancer was very resistant to every single treatment. My life became sitting on, because I was helping him triage this from afar, my life became sitting on one doctor appointment call after another with his physicians, because he didn't understand what was going on. And since I have a medical background, I was there to, translate, if you will. And so I had to take that emotional baggage that I had and set it aside so that I could be that sounding board and that person for my dad. Well, fast forward through all of that stressful time, and he passed away a year later. So we're coming up on the year anniversary of his passing on the 30th of this month. So this summer has been very difficult for me because I'm walking through sort of the events of last summer. So I lost my dad last year. And then the third piece of this is something that I've personally been dealing with. And this is where I want to inspire hope in everyone that's dealing with any type of chronic illness or anything. This business has afforded me the ability to take care of myself. If I would have had a job, I would have been fired because I couldn't physically go work a job for 8+ hours a day and still be able to work on my healing. I was diagnosed with, I have Epstein-Barr, but I was diagnosed with pretty severe mold toxicity. We found black mold in our attic and some other places. You guys, mold is awful. If, most people don't even know they have it until somebody gets sick. Well, I got really sick, and then all of the other things that I was going through, all of the emotional trauma, just really sort of pushed me off the cliff. And so for the last, little over a year, I've been really working on treatment and therapy to get myself on the other side of that, and I've come a long way, but I still have a long way to go. And I just will say, Michelle, that I'm so grateful for this business, because every time things get hard, I look in the mirror and I say, yes, they're hard right now, but look at what you're going through, and the alternative would never have afforded you the freedoms to take care of your life. So that's a little cliff notes of kind of what I've been going through.
Gosh, Sonja, I just, been praying for you like crazy, and I just, think that, you are such an example and documentation of dig the well before you need the water. I think the reason why so many people get in such a terrible situation financially and, in total financial freakout mode is because when things are good, they don't think about building something on the side. But what if, stuff hits the fan, and, things in your life are brutal. I mean, I personally walked through probably the hardest, period of my life a couple years ago personally. And, I thank God every day that I have the team that we have here, the income that I have here, the business model that we have here, and just from the top down, what we've got here. And you don't know what you got till it's gone. And I think sometimes we take for granted the opportunity that we have sitting right here in our lap, and an opportunity to create an unlimited income potential, to, create the life that you truly want. And I'm just so glad and grateful that you were able to be there, through everything with your mom, with your dad. And I'm so glad that you, had such an amazing team of people around you here and a Modere family that could wrap their arms around you during that time, and that you could keep an income coming in while you're trying to get healthy and dealing with a mold situation and the loss of your parents. So, gosh, girl, I had chills 2 or 3 times when you were talking. So, what would be your best advice, for someone who is just getting started, or maybe they're hitting the reset button on their business, and maybe they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired? What would be your advice for them?
Well, I will tell you this, that over 16 years, I've hit the reset button many times. And in the past, that reset button has meant jumping to a different company. And John and I were actually swapping some messages yesterday. And I said, this whole hitting the reset button in not moving companies is a new thing for me. But what I will tell you is this, that there are seasons in this business. And when people join any company, just because you don't hit the jackpot your first month, your second month, your first year, as John always says, and I think you said earlier in this call, Michelle, what if you keep going, and what if all of a sudden you're making $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month? I've earned all of those things at different points, but I've also had some epic failures. So my point is that, we have trainings everywhere you look about the skills of the how to do a TikTok, how to do this, how to do that. And all of that stuff is really important, but the most important skill anyone can embrace, in my personal opinion, is number one, establishing why you are doing this and getting so darn crystal clear so that when times get tough, like what I've experienced, where you have every reason under the sun to quit and throw in the towel, you have such a crystal clear vision for your future, for your family's future, that it is the one thing that keeps you going when things get tough. So it's what's between your ears, your mindset, your belief. And until you develop that belief, if you're brand new, you have to be able to plug into others who have gone before you, who have that belief that you are still trying hard to develop. And then the other piece of that, too, is really staying consistent with action. So even when times got tough, and I still have days today where I don't feel well. So I've gotten really good at looking at my schedule and, for example, my content creation. I batch create things. I have take those days where I feel really good, and I make a whole bunch of content. And I'm okay with the next day if I need to rest, if I need to allow myself that rest time to take care of myself, because the person on the other end who's viewing my content or who's getting a message from me, they don't know if I'm on the couch or if I'm having my best day ever. But because, again, this goes back to preparation. What you do today sets you up for a successful tomorrow. So if you're not preparing and taking consistent action today, if you have a tough time in your life, things will fall apart. So being prepared, being consistent, looking at your schedule, really batch creating your things, looking at those chunks of time, whether you have tough times in your life or you have a full-time job, you have to be able to look at your schedule, get good at scheduling the things that are income producing for your business. And that is not just making content, it's reaching out to people, it's having conversations, it's following up, it's helping your team members do all of those things. And last but not least, keep it super simple. We are attracted by every possible tool under the sun. Automation, funnels, viral videos. It's like a firestorm of noise, but we just need to keep it simple and basic.
Oh, girlfriend, mic drop. I love what you're saying because when I was going through hell personally and I was like going through menopause at the same time and just, trying to get my hormones right. And, I had gained 32 pounds. I mean, like there was just a period looking back and, I always say you can always connect the dots looking back, but never forward, and you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So sometimes when you're in it, like in the yuck, you're just like, God, what in the hell? Like, how can I get out of this? Like, what is going to change? And it's easy to go into victim mode, right? It's easy to be like, oh, poor me, woe is me, everything is happening to me. But honestly, it's happening for you. And there's going to be Sonja, I can just feel that in my heart and soul, there's going to be some magical things that come out of everything that you've gone through because we only go through these things to be able to help other people. And I'll tell you, going through, figuring out hormone stuff and trying to lose 32 pounds and going through, dealing with, the father and kids' addiction and things like that for so many years, I am able to help so many more people now. And now I'm in such a good space and place. And I look back and I can't even believe I was in that muck and that yuck for a while. But I love what you said about, batching your content. I mean, there were days I would wake up and I'd be Michelle Barnes and be on top of the world, ready to crush. And then the next day I'd wake up and I freaking hated everybody. I was like, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to create content. I didn't want to do anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, who am I right now? This is not me, So, I love batching content, but if you don't schedule it, it won't happen. And one thing I've been doing for 28 years now is batch and schedule, put chunks of time aside. You have to be intentional. And when you're intentional with building your business, you really can do it in an hour a day, a couple hours a day, fitting it into the cracks of your life if you're brand new and you're part-time. If you're really intentional with those income-producing activities, don't do the busy work, guys. And don't get caught up in all the BS out there. Love what Sonja said. Keep it simple. John Melton and I, we probably keep it more simple than probably 99% of people. We just ATM our face off. We start a lot of conversations, guys. All business is conversations. All business is conversations. So how many conversations are you starting a day? And you don't have to make a freaking science project out of it. Say hi. Say hello. Say how are you? I'm in hundreds of conversations every single day. Just conversations. Be a professional friend maker. Make some friends. And I guarantee you guys, when you take a sincere interest in other people, they will eventually open the door for you to walk right through. They're going to want to lose a few pounds. They're going to want some energy. They're going to want to try this new product. They're going to want to get rid of some wrinkles and some aches and pains. They're going to want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Some people are struggling so bad right now. They're on their knees praying for the opportunity that we have. And you have a message in your mouth, and your mouth isn't open, and you're not sharing it. And every day that goes by that you're not sharing these products or this opportunity with people, you're basically shutting down your business. You're putting a close sign on the window of your restaurant. What if you spent $500,000 to start this business? Would you shut the restaurant down? If you paid $500,000 to start it, would you just shut it down for 2 weeks at a time? But that's what some of y'all are doing. And the starting, stopping is exhausting. And I love what you said. What if you keep going? What if you keep going? So is there anything else you want to add, Sonja, before we go to our final speaker for the day?
Yeah, I want to leave everybody with hope, because I know we all go through, and Michelle just shared a very real example, and I've been there with the hormonal stuff. When you have mold, it makes your hormones go sideways. You legit feel like you are somebody else, like you are walking in a shell of your body. So these things that go on in your body are real, but you have to be stronger than what you're going through, and that's what I remind myself of every day. But it's very important that you surround yourself with people who will also remind you of that, because sometimes you need, not sometimes, all the time, you need people who are mentors, who are coaches, like-minded people, successful people in your circle, because you have to remember that just on the other side of any tragedy is a giant breakthrough. But more people quit during those downtimes, whether it's downtime in your business or something going sideways in your life. It's more appealing to go and start over and do something else. But wherever you go, there you are. So just because there's a new company doesn't mean that it's going to change your life because you join it. So you've got to stay focused on your future, why you're here, and always do something. Even if you're in a very down time of your life, I learned a long time ago, show up and do at least one thing for your business every single day, 7 days a week, even on Sunday. Even if that one thing is just getting organized for the next week. But when you do those little things, I promise you that over time, your business will grow.
Oh, my gosh, girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm like jumping up and down over here. Oh, my gosh, girl. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for being on the call. I know you have family. I know we went a little longer than we were going to with you, and we still have one speaker. So hang tight, guys. You want to hear Claudia's story. So Carlos, Sonja, thank you for sharing. Sonja, enjoy your family today. And, guys, last but absolutely not one bit least is Miss Claudia Castaneda. She is a Platinum 1, Director 1. That means she's crushing it already, okay? She's in Dallas, Texas. That means 5,000 in personal sales. Sorry, my dog is barking downstairs. Hopefully you can't hear that. He's vicious. He's a vicious 1-year-old cockapoo. He's very, very vicious. So Platinum 1, 5,000 points in her customer pod. Director 1, that means over 12,000 in sales in her entire team. So Claudia, I'm so excited to hear your story, my friend. Are you out there?
Yes, I am. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, girl. So let's do this. I can't wait to hear your story. So share with these guys the Cliff Notes version of your story, what you used to do, what you do, how you got here, and what you're excited about.
Well, I am a mindset, wellness, and energy coach, and I started that in 2017. But before that, I was just not doing anything good with myself. I was in depression, and when my son was born, my last son, in 2010, he was born, and I went into depression, after postpartum depression. And I was an entrepreneur because my mom actually signed me up with the company she was with, and she said, I just need one more recruit to make this trip. And I said, okay, Mom. And then I didn't have kids at the time, and when I had my 3 kids, my 2 kids, my oldest 2, she was like, you shouldn't be working for somebody else. You should be starting selling something so you could make money, because there's no point in going to work to pay a babysitter. And I was like, no, Mom, I'm scared. What if people don't pay? What if I fail? What if I can't make it? And she said, I'm going to give you the same advice your grandpa told me. It's not good to work for nobody else. You should start selling stuff. So I was afraid, and I was in the job mindset. And then she said, here, I'll sign you up. And I was like, okay, Mom. So that's where I come from.
Oh, I love that, girl. And gosh, your grandpa was right, and your mom is freaking awesome. So where are you from originally, and where do you live now?
I'm originally from Zacatecas, Mexico, and I live in Texas. And I've been in the United States for most of my life, but I speak Spanish with everybody. They're like, well, why don't you speak English? I was like, because there's nobody to speak English with. We're all Mexicans here in Texas.
Well, good for you. Well, you'll be very proud of me, Claudia and Carlos. I'm on day 179 with my Spanish on Duolingo, so I'm so excited. My goal is to speak fluently by the end of the year. We'll see, but it's a lofty goal, but we'll see if it happens. But 179 days strong with my streak, so I love it. And how old are your kids, honey?
My kids are 22, 21, and 14, and that's how they are. But in 2010, when I went into postpartum depression, one of my friends invited me to a meeting, and I said no. I'm just, you know what? Business is not for me. I always fail. I made a lot of mistakes. I lost a lot of people. I regretted a lot of stuff that I did because I didn't know how to run a business. I always lost money, so I was like, no, I'm not going. And I was being a victim with my mom on the phone. She lived in California. And I said, Mom, hold on, because my friend is calling me. So she was insisting. My friend was insisting. So I was like, it must be an emergency. So I answered the phone, and she invited me. I said no. So I hung up with my mom, and the next day she said, honey, do you remember your friend that called you yesterday? I said, yes, Mom. And she said, you should go. I said, no, I'm not going because I'm done with business. I'm done. I'm just going to be a stay-home mom, and I'll pay for food stamps. I'll have the government take care of me or whatever I have to do, but I'm not doing business no more. She said, honey, go. Your thing is there.
Wow.
That's the one thing you're going to do. Just go. So I went. And when I went there, it was an MLM company, and I was sitting at that chair, and I was just crying, like sobbing. And my mind was just telling me, like, you're making a mistake. You're ridiculous. Get out of the room. So I went out of the room, and I went to the restroom, and there was one lady that she was going to be doing an act for a break. And I was washing my hands, and I looked to the mirror because I saw she was looking at me through the mirror. So I looked up to the mirror, and she said, who told you you can't do it? Who told you you're not worthy? Mm-hmm. Who told you you're not enough? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, my God, how do you know that? And the thing that got me crying in that opportunity meeting is because I saw the speaker on stage, and I was like, how is he so confident? How is he telling his story with such a confidence in him? I just want to be confident with me. I just want to have some confidence and just a little belief in me. And that's when all it started. It wasn't the business. It was that I learned about mindset. I learned about coaching. I learned about energy. I learned about vibration. And in 2017, I was like, you know what? I want to help other people feel confident about themselves. I want to do this for other people. So that's where I started following John Melton. And I grew my business online, my coaching business online, following John Melton's tips. And I followed him.
That's awesome.
And in 2022, I was like, you know what? I don't want to have no more babies. My youngest is 12 already, so I'm just going to have a surgery to not have more kids. So I went into surgery. And when I'm ready for the surgery, my doctor comes in, and he says, I told you not to get pregnant. I said, I'm not pregnant. I've been bleeding for 10 days. That's when Dallas shut down, and it was everything frozen. So I was bleeding for 10 days. And I thought it was normal. I thought it was menopause because my mom, when she was in menopause, she had hemorrhages. So I thought it was normal. So I didn't go to the doctor or anything. But when I was in that bed in the hospital, ready for surgery, my husband said, something's not right. I said, everything's okay. I'm ready for the surgery, and I have never had surgery. So he said, no, something's not right. And then one of the nurses looked at the other nurse, and he said, collagen is too high. And I thought, it's collagen. All I knew about collagen is that it was good for skin, hair, and nails. That's all I knew. And so collagen got stuck to my head. My sister calls me, and she says, my mom told me about what happened. What happened? So I was telling her the story, and she said, now that you talk about collagen, I need some collagen. So I was like, okay. She sent me some lotions that she wanted me to look at. So I said, I don't trust them. So I sent John a text, and I said, do you sell these? And he said, no, but I have this. So that's when he introduced me to Modern. And I was like, no, I was like, no. But after the miscarriage, I had panic attacks. I had anxiety. I had fibromyalgia. I could not open my center. I could not teach. I could not coach. I couldn't do anything because I wasn't okay. I was in trauma. And I started gaining weight. I started losing hair. I started just feeling like I was going to die. Like literally, I could not get out of bed because I could not do anything. Emotionally, I wasn't okay. Physically, I wasn't okay. I was just not okay. And my kids would come into my room every 5 minutes to check on me because they were worried because I was not okay. And so when my sister told me about collagen, I ordered the package. I ordered the XM kit because she said, you know what, I don't care about business. You've always been an entrepreneur, a broke one, with MLMs and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want nothing to do with MLM. I don't want to know about another business. Let me just build my stuff, my thing, because I'm very successful at it, and I've changed a lot of people's lives with the coaching. So I was like, let me just keep on doing this. But then I got into the Latino team, and I just kept seeing them popping up like promotions and just results of the product. But I didn't care because it was weight loss. And I was tired and sick about hearing people telling me that I needed to lose weight. And after the miscarriage, the doctor told me the only thing you could do to lose weight is you got to do the bypass or a surgery. And I was like, I'm not doing surgery. I understood God. He does not want me to get a surgery because it was the third time that I had tried to get a surgery to not have kids. So I was like, I'm not doing surgery. So that's how I got introduced to Modern.
That is so awesome, Claudia. I'm so glad you're here, and you know what a story. And obviously, just like I was telling Sonja, everything you've gone through, you're going to be able to inspire and help so many people. So I know that we are a little past the hour, but I would love for you to share, what would your tips be? We have this mid-month promotion coming up next week. We've got this new product coming out in 6 weeks. We've got Fall Social Marketing Summit coming up. We've got so many exciting things happening. What would you tell people? Because you're a Platinum 1, Director 1. You're crushing your business on both sides of the comp plan. Like, I would love to know what you would share with these guys to really, really take the gloves off and crush their business.
Okay, well, let me tell you that after the miscarriage, my mom passed away in February, the same time as other speakers. My mom passed away. And when I was at the hospital with her, there was some stuff going on in Modern. So the Latino team invited me to translate a call. So I did. I was in the hospital translating the call. And after the call, John texted me, and he said, thank you for translating. And I said, okay. I said, sure. So we started a conversation, and he said, Claudia, how can we help you to crush it? And I said, I have no idea. I said, I have no idea. My mom passes away, and after that, when she passed away, it's just like the movies. Her life just came through my mind, and I knew that everything she went through, it wasn't because she was diabetic. It was because of menopause. And in in September, when they launched the OVA, I was like, they launched the OVA in September, and February, my mom passes away. So March, I go to, I don't remember where the summit was, and I went there, and I was like, okay, that was the first time I walked on stage, and my mom didn't get to see me. So I made a choice that day. I said, Mom, we're going to crush it in here. I don't know how, but we're going to crush it. So I made a choice. I talked to John, and I said, you know what, I'm freaking scared. I don't believe this is a real business. This is just extra money. And people get into the business to get a discount on their products. So I don't believe it's a real business. And she said, well, Claudia, let me tell you something. Nadia is right now in Florida, and she's doing some business over there, and we pay taxes and we pay this. So I said, okay. So I started looking at myself, and I said, what do I need? So this is what you might need. If you're listening to me, this is what you might need. Maybe you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you can make it. You need to believe that you will make it. But you got to start using the products for that. You cannot believe in yourself if you're not doing the work, if you're not using the product. If you're not going through stuff, you will not believe in yourself, because you will only be seeing other people succeed. But they succeed because they're in the trenches. They're doing the work. Another thing that you need to do is you got to do a checkup from the neck up, like John says. You got to check yourself. And my belief is this is not a real business. So I said, okay, so what are they doing? And then I saw Michelle Churchill. And I saw her beginning in this business. And then I saw, and I'm seeing what happened with her and what she's doing. And so I said, okay, so this is a real business. So I started to change my mindset. This is a real business. And if I succeeded in a solopreneur where I had to do everything myself, and I succeeded and I built a six-figure income, why can't I do it here when he said, what can we do to help you crush it? So I'm not going to be by myself. I have a team. I have people that will support me if I have questions. If whatever is going through, I will have somebody to lay back on and just ask them. And then the other thing that you need to do is stay close to the fire. I remember when I was about to throw in the towel, and I was just, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this business. And they had an event here in Dallas again, and I went to, I don't remember his name. He wears a purple jacket. I don't remember what his name was. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to ask him a question, because I heard this many, many times. You got to ask some questions and just go to the people that are crushing it and ask questions. So I said, I don't know what to ask, but I said, you know what, I'm not asking this. What would you do different if you had to start over? And he said, just make mistakes faster. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that. I made a lot of mistakes with Modere. I made a lot of mistakes with many businesses. I made many, many mistakes, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last one, or mistakes are not done yet. But you know what? I got to do them faster, because I have 3 kids, and I have a husband to retire, and I have many, many women that are going through menopause, that are going through stuff that they don't know what the heck is going on with them. So I have a mission now. So you have to have a mission. You cannot just need money. You have to have a big why. And that why includes you, but in you, who are you going to help? And that motivates me. It's not about me, because I've made success. I know what's going on now. But how many people out there need what we have now, need what I know now, need what I went through to be where I'm at right now. And now I know I'm not alone.
Wow, girl, you're amazing, girl, and I cannot wait to see the amount of people whose lives you change in the next 3 to 6 months. I mean, I can hear it in your voice, your energy, and, like I said, energy is everything, and everything is energy. And we have such an amazing opportunity here to share with people. So, Claudia, you are amazing. Carlos, Sonja, appreciate you all so much. Every single one of you that has stayed strong on this call that went a little over the hour, I appreciate every single one of you, the time that you have spent with us. Guys, we have the best days are ahead of us right now, and with this product launch, it will be the biggest product launch that Modere has ever had. So I hope that you have got your seatbelt on. I hope you're ready for this ride. And guys, I'm telling you, the wave is coming. So paddle now. I always say, build it now before that product launches. How many people can you have in your team in the next 6 weeks? How many brand new customers can you get now so that they can share this amazing product, the system that's launching in 6 weeks with way more people? What if you have 10 people in your team by the time this launches, 20, 100, 200, 500 people in your team when this product launches in 6 weeks? Imagine what's going to happen. So again, Carlos, Sonja, Claudia, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything that you shared with everybody. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for being so authentic, so real, so vulnerable. And guys, let's rock it. Make a decision. That decision means to cut off any alternative. No more BS. No more victim, BS. Like, no more woe is me. Like, let's freaking go, you guys. I love you all. Make it an amazing weekend, and we'll talk to you next Saturday. Goodbye, everybody. Have an amazing weekend.